So sick of these goddamn women in my video games. I just want men in my video games. Muscle-bound, grotesque, and well-oiled up men in my video games. Thank you very much.
Shields up, Ironbreakers. Rurikhan here, coming at you with another edition of the Cons Cast, and today we're going to be talking about the topic of gamers not wanting women on their video games. And I can't believe that I still have to address this in 2018, because I've been talking about this throughout the years, and quite frankly, it's getting to be particularly ridiculous. But anyways, let's go through this once again. One of the biggest problems with this particular topic is that people like to cherry-pick comments made by 1, 2, 3 gamers, and they like to basically present those as representative of the entire community as a whole. Sometimes it's not even people being sincere, it's quite simply people trolling on the internet, but basically they cherry pick these comments here and there, and then they like to plaster that all over the internet and say, look at how misogynist, bigoted gamers are. They're so terrible. They don't want women on our video games. If you just release a game with a strong female protagonist, they're going to boycott it and they're going to hate it, like what's happening with Battlefield 5. Really? Okay, so explain to me exactly how many boycotts were there around Horizon Zero Dawn? Because I seem to pretty much just remember universal praise about that game. How about the Tomb Raider reboot? I personally love the first one. I haven't really played the other two because they're kind of like milking it out. But ultimately, I do like that gameplay style. I do like what they're doing with that character. And I enjoyed the Tomb Raider reboot quite a bit. You got Bayonetta, and I know that on that one you guys are going to go like, oh, but that's an overly sexualized female character. So basically, due to the fact that the character is sexualized, any other positive attributes that that character might have is just completely, thrown out the window, because you can't have a sexy female protagonist on a video game, despite the fact that a lot of male protagonists, on a lot of video games end up, bare-chested and like, rock muscles and all of this shit is like, no, that doesn't matter, okay? It only matters when the females are the ones doing it. Moving up right along. You also got Darksiders 3, again, female protagonist. I'm kind of holding off on Darksiders 3 myself, though, because, I feel like there's been evolution from Darksiders 1 to 3, and 3 just doesn't feel like it's on the same, I don't know, it doesn't feel right for me. But anyways, that character is there. A lot of people are enjoying that video game. On the Resident Evil series, you have a lot of games that feature a female lead, strong female leads. You got the Metroid game, which has a female lead in the form of Samus. You have Life is Strange, you have Mirror's Edge, you have Thronebreaker, which was actually released this year as well, features a strong female lead as the main character. I'm not sure if that game actually has multiple characters. I haven't played too much of it, but I did like what I play, and I particularly enjoyed that female character because she's a fucking badass, which is pretty cool. And even recently, we've also had Cyberpunk 2077, where the main gameplay trailer was played from the point of view of the female character, despite the fact that you can choose your gender in that particular game. CD Projekt Red decided to present it from the female protagonist's point of view. Now tell me how many people are going after this list of games, which is just a very quick sampling that I looked up in like less than 5 minutes, because if I wanted to go deep, I could go fish up like 100 more games with female leads that were also pretty fucking good. But okay, just like the small sampling. Tell me how many, male, bigoted, misogynistic gamers are going after these games and tell me, I don't want these women in my video games. Not that many, huh? Because the generalization doesn't really work when the game is actually good. Your generalization argument doesn't really hold any weight, because that's what it all boils down to. When video games are good, we couldn't care less about the gender of the protagonist. We just want a good fucking video game, which by all intents and purposes, what most people are reporting of Battlefield 5 is that is not that great. And if you are enjoying it, more power to you. Not really a big problem, in my opinion. It's just like this consistent narrative that we don't want women in video games is just, it irks me to no end. Like, look, are there a minority of gamers that are against women in video games? Yes, there are. And they're a very loud bunch. They're a minority, though, and the more attention you give them, the more it empowers them, and the more they will keep doing the thing where they go out and they comment like, I don't want women in my video game. And this minority, I don't support them, and I don't believe them, and I don't care about them. But again, they are a minority, and the more attention that you give to that issue, and the more you try to label gamers as all being like that, which we're not, We're not. I can guarantee you that a majority of the gaming community does not think like that. But the more you start slapping labels onto people with this dumbass generalization argument that you keep bringing up, the more you're going to alienate them, and the more they're going to, be like, you know what, whatever, fuck you. That's basically what you're driving people to with arguments like, oh, you guys just don't want women in your video games. You're getting to the point where people are going to start saying, you know what, no, I don't. Fuck you. Get the fuck off, because they're tired of it. They're fucking done. They're done with this argument. We all are done with this argument. Gaming is hands down, like I've said in the past, one of the most accepting communities when it comes to just accepting any type of gender, any type of sexual orientation. We don't care. You can be trans, you can be male, female, gender fluid, you can be homo, you can be hetero. It doesn't make a goddamn difference, okay? We quite simply don't care. We just want you to come in here, play some games. If that is what you want to do, we want to make sure that you have fun. That's the whole point of this. And if you, instead of focusing on the negatives of these minorities that are these loud minorities that keep posting comments and keep being like these warriors, they're the opposite of the social justice warriors. They're just like coming in, oh yeah, fuck the women and fuck the minorities and all this other bullshit. If you opt to instead ignore those people and actually try to engage with the positive sides of the gaming community, maybe you could actually have some goddamn fun instead of always getting up on your soapbox. I was like, you just don't want women in your video game. Like, I can assure you, we couldn't give two fucks about the gender of the protagonist of a good video game. We don't care. We just care that it is a good goddamn video game. And when it comes to more women actually joining the community, that's another thing that, if anything, a large majority of the gaming community wants more women, okay? But it doesn't matter if you're a woman, if you're a man, if you're gender fluid. We don't care. You can join the community. Just come in with the mentality that you're coming in to have fun, instead of coming in with this mentality that's like, oh, I'm gonna bring my social political agenda and have all of these arguments in the gaming arena. Fuck that shit. Get that shit right on out of here. We don't care, okay? We play video games specifically to escape the reality of things, because the world is a fucked up place, and we've reached the point where we just don't even want to engage with it anymore, because governments are corrupt. There's all kinds of just like ridiculous things happening throughout the world that make no fucking sense, because people just don't even care about each other anymore. Everybody's just looking for the next big controversy to talk about. Like, fuck that shit. All this thing is doing is promoting divisiveness, and I will actively fight that shit tooth and nail, okay? I'm here to keep the gaming community together, not divided by these stupid bullshit non-issues, okay? Fuck, man.